Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the Motivators Table podcast. I am your boy here, Dr. McIntyre, the Hood Motivator, and we here season 5. Yes, so we got a huge guest today. But first, I want to thank Los Angeles Tribune for giving me the opportunity to spread my positivity. Thank you to Riverside for giving me the platform just to put it on, and thank you to all my sponsors for just pouring to me. I appreciate it. But right now, get your highlighters and get your pens ready because we got a huge guest coming to the table. Let's welcome Mr. Chris to the Motivators Table, everybody. What's going on, Chris? How you doing, brother?
Great. How are you?
I'm good, brother, man. I couldn't wait to have this conversation with you this morning. And let's get right
Yeah,
into it, man. Let's tell the
sure.
world who you are and where you from.
Okay. Well, my name's Chris Beddoes. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Have 5 kids and 3 grandkids and a wonderful wife. And from that, they've taught me a lot of things. Challenge and adversity can be overcome, and that's what I'm doing. I'm retired from being a firefighter and being in the Red Cross in disaster services. And now I'm helping people in a different way, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today.
Yeah, let's talk about growing up in Columbus, Ohio. Let's talk about that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Sorry.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let's talk about growing up in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, so Columbus, Ohio is a beautiful town. It's a cow town is what they call it, but it's mostly city now, so that's good. But I started off in elementary school here and was learning how to be a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout, serving other people. And so all my life I've sort of done service. Served as a Boy Scout and then went as a firefighter, learned how to be a firefighter then from in my junior year and senior year of high school. And after that, I decided that I wanted to go a little bit further and help God. So I went on a mission for my church for 2 years and served people and teaching people, about Jesus. And from there, I went into the Air Force to serve our country. And I was serving in the Air Force as a firefighter as well. And now today, after an injury that I had in the Air Force, ended up getting out of firefighting and went into Red Cross serving in disaster services. And now I simply give back in another way. So that way is with a company that I'm working to help people get legal services and identity theft protection and that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's great, man. First of all, thank you for your service, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to overlook that for our military service men and women that are serving our country, that have served. First of all, that's very huge. I'm also a veteran, so thank you. We're not gonna overlook that. So thank you for everything
Awesome.
that you have done for your country and continue to do and everything like that. And let's jump right into this, man. How was Chris growing up like as a kid? What was your character like?
There you go.
Did you hear my question? Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I can. It like cuts
Okay.
in and out, but yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. How was Chris growing up as a kid? How was Chris' character?
I was probably ornery, like every other kid out there, you know, but I was a good kid. I worked hard and helped people out and had fun. Played uh, none of this video games and stuff. I didn't have any of that when I was a kid. It was like Atari was what we had.
I
So
remember
that's way back when.
Excite Bike, Pac-Man,
Yeah,
Donkey Kong,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Dig Dug. You
Contra,
probably don't even know that one, but
yeah, Excite Bike.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember, man. I'm older too. I was born in '81, so
Okay, I was born in '69. So a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So I mean, kids is, growing up is how we find who we are and try to develop. So that's why I always try to dig into the inner child and who that person was as a kid. Can you dig deeper? What were the things that you used to like to do?
Um, I just I played football out in the street. So we did
Yep.
street football, and that was a
Yep.
lot of fun growing up. Baseball in my backyard, where as a 10-year-old cut a diamond in my grass, a baseball diamond. My mom and dad weren't happy about that, but that's okay. They got
Yeah.
over it. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Definitely. So you played a little sandlot in the backyard baseball.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We had
I
a
remember
huge
them times
backyard.
playing outside for like hours on hours and drinking out the water hose. Those were good times. Very good
You're
times. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
Yes. I don't know what they
Absolutely.
did. What's going on now? These kids don't even like to go outside. You hear me? I said these kids they don't even like to go outside.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I know they don't. They just stay inside all the time and play on their computers. But you know what? That's how we
On the
build our
internet.
imagination and our growth and the potential to become who we're going to be in the future and who we are now.
Right, exactly. Right, right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we talk about it because I like to hit on that inner child. So walk me up into your high school years. How was Chris in high school developing as a young man?
Like I said, I was in Boy Scouts, and so at that time, and went from the regular Boy Scout program and got into the Explorer Scout program, where I got to be introduced to firefighting. And so my junior and senior year of high school, I did firefighting and learned how to be a good firefighter and how to serve the community and help people and, doing all kinds of different things in the community.
Mm.
That was the kind of things I
So
did.
what made you interested to become a firefighter? Because that was one of my interests when I was growing up. I didn't become one. I went to the service, but I love firefighters. It was always attracted to me. The trucks, saving people, putting
I
out
think the
fires and
biggest
stuff
part
like that.
was
So what
was the
made you interested?
so the biggest part of being my desires when I was a kid, my grandmother lived right next door to the fire station. And so we got to go over there all the time whenever we
Mm.
were visiting her and see the fire trucks and talk to the firefighters. And so that was sort of like one of those ambitions in the back of my mind. And then I was sitting in school one day and they did over the announcements, anybody interested in being a firefighter in the scouting program to come to this meeting. And there was a special meeting in the school that afternoon or whatever. So I went and there was only about 4 or 5 of us that showed up, but I was one of them. And from that point forward, I got into the career center and learned firefighting from that as well.
Okay. So how was developing that? So once you got out of that and got out of high school, you went straight into becoming a professional firefighter?
Once I got once I got out of high school, as a firefighter, I worked as a volunteer for about a year and
Okay.
then went on a mission for my church. And from that, when I came back, I went back into the Air Force or went into the Air Force as a firefighter. So I got to keep
Wow, I
that
love
career.
that.
Yeah.
I love and you
What
did
branch
it
of
in the
service were
military,
you in?
I was in the Army. I was in the Army. I joined in 2002.
Okay, good deal. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, I was a fire supporter, you know
Sweet.
what I'm saying? Just,
All
understanding how to
right.
drop bombs,
Good.
collateral damage estimation, target administration, all that stuff. So yeah, I was a fire
Wow.
supporter.
All
Yeah.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So how was your experience in the military?
I loved my experience in the military. Um, it camaraderie and growth developing and all those wonderful things. Learning how to help one another and, you know, just be there for one. It's like a big brother. That's what I like with veterans
Yeah,
as well. Didn't matter what branch you served
definitely.
in. It's just, there's a brotherhood with veterans.
Right. A lot of times we miss that camaraderie because we don't have it out here in the regular world because it's doggy dog world for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that could be good in certain scenarios, but we need each other, to talk to understand, to push us forward, to pick us up, to even make jokes on us, to keep us going. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes,
that's what the military
that's
was.
right.
You know, it was cruel, but we miss our tribe. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
miss
right.
my tribe.
Exactly. Exactly.
Definitely. When we get out and we find people like this that are,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We create our own tribe, and that's why I wanted to bring you on the motivators table because I saw what you were doing and I want to talk about it. So let's transition after getting out the military. Um, let's talk about the career you had after that. Talk me on it. You know what I'm saying? Let's walk
So
my community on that.
okay. So after I got out of the military, I got out because I got injured. I got hit in the head with a fire hose. So it took me
Mm,
several years to recover from that and do therapy and relearn. I mean, you'd point at a chair and say, "What is that object?" And I couldn't tell you. That's how bad the injury was. And had amnesia and all that kind of stuff that I had to relearn, remember things over again. But once I did that and I got to a steady area in my life, uh, physically and mentally, I went to work for the Red Cross in disaster services. And what was interesting, JR, you'll like this one. I moved my family down to Florida to take the job with the Red Cross. And during that situation, we were unloading our moving truck as Katrina was coming through the Florida Keys. And so rain
mm.
bands were up. We're in Fort Myers, and so rain bands we were unloading our moving truck in the rain bands. So it was crazy. But then I went
Wow.
right to work helping people and taking care of the families that were affected. And then we had over 180 families from New Orleans come to Fort Myers that we took care of as well. And so in that,
Wow.
I got to be the best part of somebody's worst day. Whether it
Mm.
was a house fire or disaster of any kind, I got to be that person that was there to let them cry on their shoulder. And man, that is a feeling like nothing else.
I love that, man. And that's part of serving. So even as a kid, you wanted to serve, and you went into high school and getting out, then to the military, and then getting out, continue to serve. And I tell people all the time, I said, we don't put on this earth to serve as humans. It's just what capacity you choose in. And, some people, they don't like that word servant because sometimes they
Hmm.
don't even know what it looks like, or sometimes they've been in situations where they've been taken advantage of. But God is always calling us to continue to serve. And look at you doing that. And Katrina, tell me how that experience was.
Oh man, it was day and night. I was probably putting in 15-hour days, um, bright early in the morning, helping people, finding people homes, food, shelter, clothes, all that kind of stuff. And what was nice is the community came together and helped one another. So if you were a construction worker,
Right.
you were building homes for some of these families. If you were, in retail sales, you were taking donations to buy goods and items for them so they could stock that home. People in education were giving them free education and training them how to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever, or an x-ray tech or anything, you know. There was all kinds of things that they were doing as trying to help these people establish their life again in what I call a new normal. So it was amazing, it really was.
That's good, man. I hear a lot of stories about Katrina, but sometimes you don't hear these stories. And people don't, sometimes people,
I didn't
they,
hear that
they forget.
question. Could you repeat it?
No, I just say we hear a lot of stories with Katrina, and I love to hear this story because sometimes we forget that Katrina happened years ago and what happened to New Orleans and people that migrated from Katrina to the Houston, to Florida, to all these areas, uprooted their families in a disaster that some people never even went back. I was reading something on the internet that this one, I think it was Six Flags New Orleans, they never
Yeah.
rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Never rebuilt. That's why that's crazy because I was looking at pictures. It's still surrounded by the water and
Yeah.
everything like that. They never brought it back. Yeah. Wow. Man, let's
Yeah.
let's talk about that. How did you feel and people out there? What was your reaction and your emotion?
Oh, emotionally, it was so heart-filling, to be able to take care of these people and help them out. Like I said, I got to be the best part of
Right.
somebody's worst day. And with that,
Mm,
I was able to help these families, get their kids back into school and get a job or education or something and get housing. Some of these places were offering housing for them for a year for free in in that area.
mm,
And so it was wonderful because, you know, they knew what it was like. They had Charlie go through the year before and destroy a bunch of stuff in Fort Myers. And so people were living in FEMA trailers and stuff,
right.
but they did it better the second time
Right.
when Katrina came through. So it was amazing to be a part of a
Right.
community like that where everybody pitched in, churches from all denominations, um, you know, community members and leaders of the community work together to find and help each family. So it was great, great feeling.
I love that, man. And that's how you was activating your gift. You would put on this earth to serve, Chris. I love it. I'm hearing all the things from a kid. Like this is in your DNA. And you would love it too, you
Yes.
know what I'm saying? And then you transition after that. What was your transition after that?
Well, I come back from right before COVID happened. I was out in California at the wildfires in California,
Okay.
and it was the Paradise Fire. And I don't know if you remember that story, but 85 people lost their lives in that fire because what happened is 20 miles away, a campfire got out of control and it spread um, 20 miles in less than an hour. And it surrounded this whole town. There was only one way in, one way out, and 85 people didn't make it out. And so from that, my role with the Red
Mm,
Cross at the time was damage assessment. And so we were taking, going out and seeing what the damage was, what homes were destroyed, what homes. And it was weird because the fire would pick this house, but the house right next door, there'd be no damage to it at all. It was crazy. And then,
mm,
I was going there and helping these families, and they're telling their story of how their loved one was still in the house. And they couldn't get them out because of a handicap or something, whatever it was. Or they were separated and they were trying to re-find their family to see if they made it out. And that probably the first time in all my years of 20 years of working with the Red Cross did I find that it was difficult for me because my cup kept getting drained but wasn't getting filled back up. You know what I mean? And so
right.
from that, I decided, me and my wife, that we would take a step back. And so I went into part time at that point. And then my boss said that I needed you full time or I can't have you at all. I need to fill this position. And so I said, okay, that's fine. I'll step away. I'll retire. And so I retired at 2019. Um, and
Mm,
then shortly after that, obviously COVID hit and I was all, and so that's why I retired.
okay. And then after COVID, like how did we took a little bit of technical difficulties, but we was just walking on Chris on his story and everything like that, and just understanding where he came from, and you know, um, that's why we bring everybody to the motivators table. But Chris is coming back. I just seen him pop back in. Let's tap back in with Chris. What's going on, brother? Everything
Hey,
good?
sorry. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I'm just having some technical difficulties.
It's okay. Hey, listen, we're gonna push through it, man. We live, we here, we ready. Everybody's listening to you. We support you. We go. This is what life is about. It's about pushing through our technical difficulties and not giving up. All of us deal with this. Even me behind this camera, motivating, pushing. But where do the motivators go get motivated? They come here. So we're gonna keep you motivated, Chris. Let's keep talking.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Good deal.
yes, sir. We believe in you. Let's keep going, man. Don't give up.
I won't. I won't.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm
yes, sir. Yes.
just let you know that was the point that I retired, and after that disaster. And so from there, I decided to give back in a different way. And that's what I'm working on right now is I've been blessed in my life. Um, Financially, emotionally, spiritually, all these things come together when you help people the way you do, it comes back to you. And
Right.
so I've had great blessings in my life. So I felt like it was important to go ahead and give back to others, teach them, because on my days off, I'd work in sales. And like when I wasn't working as a firefighter or I wasn't working as a Red Cross disaster service manager, I worked as a sales rep, selling all kinds of different stuff, but I would only sell the stuff that I knew that was a passion to me. You know what I mean? It wasn't just anything. I never sold used cars. I sold, things that meant something to me, like water systems or, to give people better water or, different things like that.
Right. And I love that too, because that's who you are at your heart, is serving and making sure that everybody has what they need and giving back to the community. And I can hear community all in your voice. And I love that because sometimes we forget that we are the village and we are the
Yes.
village that's raising children out here. And, be the example of what the village needs, right? And I think a
Hmm.
lot of people are doing things that God never blessed them to do or even gave them that gift, but they do it because it looks good. But I see you doing it because no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow, you out here, you giving and you putting your best foot forward to be Chris and take care of your family and continue to be there. Even after the injuries that you sustained in the military, you could have just gave up and said, you know what? I'm gonna just
Yeah.
chill. I'm good. I'm okay. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
I feel like that sometimes too. Like I'm a disabled veteran. I got out. I'm retired, and it's like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, God, just give me strength. And I'm very vulnerable on my own platform because that's what it's going to take. Like I'm not showing you something that I'm not doing. Like I still got to take my medication. I still got to pray. I still got to manifest. I still got to push forward. And guess what? I am the provider, so I still got to help provide for a lot of other people. I still got to push. But sometimes when it gets dark, who do we go to talk to? Who do strong people go talk to? You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
why I developed this table so you can come on my table and be vulnerable because I know you do a lot for yourself, for your kids and your family and your community. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing on LinkedIn, you know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of you, and I want to make sure you understand that because it doesn't go
Thank you.
overlooked. And if they're overlooking it, they need to take the blasters off. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
special, bro. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank
let's
you.
talk about let's talk
I
about
appreciate
things.
that.
No, 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 man. Come on. You don't even have to say that. This is what you're doing. But let's talk about what you got going now and what's new in your life.
Okay. So about a month and a half ago, I was sitting there trying to figure out what impact could I make to my community. And so I was praying and asking God to introduce me to something that I could make a bigger impact. And so he did. He introduced me to a company called Legal Shield. And you might have heard of it before. They've been around
Yeah.
for 50 years.
Yep.
And in all of that, I looked at what was going on with Legal Shield and how people were able to be protected from identity theft, not only alerted because some companies alert you, but this company protects you and helps restore you. And that's the key, is restoring somebody. So if they lost their money from identity theft, then we would be able to restore that that income up to $3 million. And so per person in the family that got identity theft. And so that was something that sort of hit to my heart, because I've seen people lose things because of identity theft. And every single one of us out there is affected by, in some way by hackers. You've got your name, your information at this company that you're doing business with for years, and all of a sudden they get hacked, and now they have all your information that you've been dealing with that company or whatever. And so this organization helps restore them. Then they have legal services. And the best way I could describe this, JR, is the fact that, wealthy people, they don't sit down and go to Google to find out how to do their taxes. They pick up the phone or text their attorney, their tax attorney, and say, here, take care of my taxes. Or if somebody's trying to screw them out of money, they don't, just fight with that person. They just say, here, call my attorney, let them take care of it. You know what I mean? They got better things to do with their mindset, putting their mindset in a more positive place so that they can grow more and develop as an individual. And so that's the things that I saw, is that Legal Shield actually gives you the ability to set your mindset like a wealthy person. And so as I saw that, I could make the income, because I've done it before. I've made good income in this industry, the direct selling industry. And I just felt like this would be something that could help people, and that we could make enough income to do the next thing that I want to do on my agenda, on my bucket list. And that is to provide homes for fallen heroes, for heroes. And so, sort of like Tunnels for Towers, in my hometown, I want to take an old hotel, remodel it, give them their own little apartments, for veterans that have lost their way, and then get help for them, whether it's mental help or medical, or, just spiritual help, or whatever it might be, to help them get back on their feet. Because like you said, our veterans have done a lot for this country, and we've got so many millions of veterans out on the streets. We need to get them off. They did something for this country. We need to turn around and give something back to them. And so that's what my goal is to take Legal Shield and build it to a point where I can take that money and be able to benefit other people's lives.
Definitely. I love that Legal Shield. So I heard a lot about Legal Shield. I'm taking notes and stuff like that. So, my
The
community
key
is always
about Legal
listening,
Shield
and they always,
is there's a lot of good
yeah.
people out there that work in Legal Shield. Okay. But I'm in a team that is like the fastest growing team in the company right now. That team, our leader, my mentor, she made over $350,000 in 3 months from scratch. That kind of money could help out a lot of veterans.
Right. It is.
And
Yeah.
and I know how to do that. And I'm learning how she did it so that I can help. A lot of it is
Right.
social media, just like you're
Right.
dealing with here. By sharing with your people the opportunity where they could make an extra 500 to $1,000. You know that as well as I do, that the
Right.
average person that filed for bankruptcy last year, if they only had an extra $500 a month, they could have avoided bankruptcy.
They could avoid it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and Legal Shield is one of those things that could do that for them. If they share
Right.
with a couple people a month, this opportunity, they can make
Right.
400 or 500, maybe even $1,000 a month. So my goal is to help every person that gets in on my team, with my team,
Mm-hmm.
to make them $1,100. in their first week.
And I love that too,
So,
because that's how you do it. It's like I heard illegal shit. Like I said, I was in the security industry, and people were doing that
mhm.
for their weapons and all that good stuff, and it's really good. And whoever created it is it's a good business plan, business model. So
Yes, it
I'm
is.
happy talking about it. I'm happy that you feel happy that this is where your purpose is at, and I can see it in your face that now again, motivators highlight this again. He's serving again because now he's taking information that he has found, and now he has put it right back out in the universe about Legal Shield and talking about it and becoming that. You know what I'm saying? And how many people have you inspired to get on Legal Shield already this year?
What'd you say? Repeat that, please.
How many people have you inspired this year to get on Legal Shield
Well,
this year?
like I said, I've only done it about a month, and I've
Okay,
got about 20 people on my team right now, and we're growing fast,
I love that for you.
so yeah.
Yeah. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that you're doing that and you're doing the work and you continue to put your best foot forward in serving people because we need that information. A lot of people they don't know what Legal Shield is about. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you telling everybody on my platform that hey, this is what you stand behind. So
Yeah,
I'm proud
exactly.
and you're happy too, right? You're happy doing it.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I just went to a meeting last week down in Nashville, Tennessee from Columbus. We drove
How was
down
that?
there to meet with my mentor,
Okay.
and she taught me so many great things. If you are the kind of person that wants to be financial free, you need to think and act like a wealthy person, like a millionaire. If you want to
Right.
be a millionaire, you need to act like it before you even get it, because that
Mm,
money's waiting to come to you. It's it's an abundance mentality that we all have to focus on, because too many of us are living in the scarcity mentality where it's like, oh man, how am I going to pay my bill next month? You know, if you're
mm,
living in that scarcity mentality, you're not going to make it. You got to get
right.
your mindset changed over to that positive abundance mentality. And when you do that, oh my gosh, things change.
Things starts to change for you and it starts to open up. And I always say that always be 2 levels ahead of what you want to be and always
Hmm.
manifest. Because at the end of the day, if you not expect to become a millionaire and you get hit with the lottery, you ain't gonna know how to maintain that money. You're gonna lose it right away because you wasn't expecting it. But if you walk around knowing that this is my lifestyle, this is where I'm going, I'm abundant, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful, I'm wealthy, I'm healthy. These are things I say to
Hmm.
myself morning.
Exactly.
I spoke for free for 4 years after my bankruptcy because I knew that I had the pedigree to start making money. Now I got signed to Los Angeles Tribune last year, and they only wanted me to put out, let me see, 40 something podcasts this year. I told them I'm gonna do 100 because the world, I'm gonna give you 100 people that inspire me. And I'm speaking. I just got, you know what I'm saying? I just got back from speaking and over stateside. So all these speeches that I go give and people bring me to their platforms because I don't have a niche. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't block me in. I don't just talk to the hood. I don't just talk to kids. I don't just talk to veterans. I don't just talk to disabled veterans, collegiate, corporate. I talk to everybody. Everybody needs the first step. It's just motivation. And I see what you got
Yep.
going on. And I know that you feel a certain type of pride when you wake up doing that, right?
Yes, I do. Every morning,
Let's
I
talk
feel
about that.
healthy, happy, and terrific every morning. That's what I say to myself, because
Oh
those
man,
affirmations make a difference.
they make a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about how what like your affirmations. I know you do. I know you big on that. Let's talk about that. How do you come about them affirmations and how you feel about that?
So what I've always done those three right there: healthy, happy, and terrific. That
Yeah,
puts my mindset in the right mood when I first wake up in the morning. And
right.
then I try to think about what I want as a goal for this week. And so I put together a power list every week. And that power list, every day, I get one or two things that are going to move me forward. Not goals, not to-do lists, but one or two things that are going to move me forward today. And so I sit down, and maybe that thing is reach out to 10 people today that um, need to be uplifted in one way or another. And then I ask God, to inspire me and put me in front of those 10 people. And that's how I do it. I mean, it's those kinds of things. And then with the affirmations, I just, find something like I heard a good one today that I want to add to my list, and that is, you know, um, people out there are talking about me all over the place of good because of the things I do. And if you just tell yourself things like that, then it starts to happen. And it was that affirmation, something similar to that had you contact me. And I'm glad that you did. I certainly appreciate it. I'm grateful to be on this podcast and do these shows.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to spotlight you, Let's talk about that too, how we aligned with each other on LinkedIn. Can you tell the world about that?
Yeah, I just go out there and reach out to people and put posts up and explain what I'm doing and stuff like that. And people contact me each and every day. I get probably 5 to 10 new contacts a day just off from, my social media. I know that's not a lot, but you know what? These are people that I never knew before. That's helping grow my business.
No, that's a
So, I
lot.
mean, and if you let them know what you're doing it for, I'm not doing it to make money for myself. I'm doing it to grab that money to be able to help these veterans and help other people. I even thought about changing it from Walls for Warriors is what the name of the organization that I'm setting up. But I thought about that and I thought maybe it needs to be Homes for Heroes or something like that, where a hero is more than just a veteran sometimes.
Mm,
Sometimes it's that mom, that single mom that's trying to raise 4 or 5 kids and trying to make a difference in their lives. That's the kind of thing that I want to make an impact in.
that's the hero.
Um, yeah, because she is a hero.
Yeah, she
I
is.
mean, there's a lot of single moms out there trying to raise these kids, and they need that support and motivation and dedication. And so I'm reaching
Right.
out to them too. If they want to be a part of my team, come on, we're going to take you somewhere.
Come on. Hey, you heard it right here. Go ahead, Chris. Tell him again. If you want to be a part of Chris' team, hit him up. Hey,
Come
Chris, right
on.
now, what I want you to do is real quick, just let them know your social medias. Go ahead and shout it out, and then go in the chat room and type it out, and then I'm gonna drop it on here so I can tag it so people can also see it. So let's go with that. Why
Okay.
you? Yes, definitely.
So probably the best thing would just give my number because I just want to talk to people.
Yep.
That would be the best thing. So my phone number is 614-580-6600. So when you get this, give me a call. 614-580-6600. And you know what? I'll pop you a text and send you a video about what our team's doing and what we can do to help you. So it's
Mm-hmm.
614-580-6600.
Y'all heard it right there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys contact. If you're interested, contact Chris. He's going to put you in the right direction of the shield, and make sure that you understand first. He's not trying to sell it to you. He will break it down to you, let you know, and if you want it, there it is. If you don't,
That's
okay,
right.
it's a nice message right there. But we appreciate
Yeah,
you, Chris. Let's I want you right now to, I know you did a little bit of motivational speaking too, a little inspiration. So leave us with leave me with a good 2 minute like message to my community about just understanding who you are, and being at the motivators table, and where you at in your life right now. Let's talk about that. Give me one.
sure. Well, I think the best thing is that each of us need to be consistent in what you do. Making making an improvement on your income, making an improvement in your life. You just got to be consistent. It's not a flash in the pan. That's never going to get it for you. Um, it's something consistent effort will get you to where you want to be. So I like to say this quote. It's by Rulon G. Craven. It says, "Motivation without application is frustration." So
Say
I'll
that again.
repeat it one more time. Motivation without application is frustration. And
Mm,
that, I think, is the key. You got to be motivated. You got to apply that motivation. Because if you don't apply it, if you don't be consistent each and every day doing something to improve yourself, then you're just going to be frustrated.
Right. And I get that, and I understand that. And you know what? Motivators, he just dropped a good tidbit. Motivation without
application.
application is just frustration. Motivation without application. So you got to apply whatever we are telling you and whatever you're learning so you can apply it. Because if you do not apply it, yes, you will become frustrated. And yes, you will become uninterested in what you're talking about because you got to live that life. People don't understand how hard it is for us as motivators and life coaches and people who inspire people to get up to inspire ourselves first and then pour that out into the universe. And then after that day is over, go reset so we can do it again because I'm a vessel. That's what God is using me to do. I am serving. So motivation without application, you will get frustrated. You will get frustrated. And we thank Chris for coming on and just, breaking that down for us as motivators at the motivators table. I do not bring anybody on my platform that I'm not inspired. And I'm definitely was inspired by Chris and his message and what he's doing in the community, serving from a little kid to right now continue to serve and also be able to put out that best motivation advice. He's on LinkedIn if you want to follow him. He just gave you his number, and we thank you guys for just tuning in. And right now we just want Chris again to give out his phone number again and give
Sure.
out his LinkedIn social media real quick. So we're gonna do that one more
Okay.
time.
So my phone number is 614-580 614-580-6600. My LinkedIn is Chris, CHRIS, Beddoes, BEDDOES, LinkedIn. So just look me up. I always wear a hat. Mr.
Always
Fedora.
definitely,
Same
Chris.
thing
And
with Facebook.
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, it's all Chris Beddoes. I got my hat on.
there we go, Chris. We appreciate you so much. And this is where the part of the show where, I pour into you. So right now, before I do that, I want to say our motivators creed right now. Um, I'm a motivated force. No one is more motivated than I. Everything I deserve is coming my way. I will remain focused on my goals, even if I have a moment of difficulty. I will not give up. I'm responsible and I'm resilient. I know success comes with consistency, and I know I will make it. Things will get better. No problem or challenge will stop me because I'm a motivated force. And Chris, I want you to know at the motivators table, we're proud of you. We love you. Keep going, bro. When you think that you cannot give no more of Chris, think about the motivators table. Think about why you do what you do. And think about your big why, your 5 kids, your wife. Think about how all the trials and tribulations you have come through. Nobody knows your story. That's why we wanted to put the story out there. Why are you doing what you're doing? And what you was explaining too about hitting your head, I suffer with TBI. I had to walk myself up from the 1, 2, 3s and the colors and sounds and all these things because of IED explosions and being banged on the head and all these things. So I understand that, and I read that story resonated with me. And we want to tell you, Chris, right now on my platform, you're special. Don't quit what you're doing. You deserve to be here. Continue whatever you got your hands on. Continue to push forward because God has positioned you since you was a little boy to be a servant. Continue to serve. But I'm gonna ask you this one question. You have to continue to serve Chris too. Do me that favor. Do me that favor sometimes. Love on yourself a little bit more. Love on yourself. It's okay
Will
to
do.
cry. It's okay to say, you know what, God, I'm not well today. You know what I'm saying? You have 5 kids that's going to pick up the slack for you. You got an awesome wife that's going to say, baby, I got you. It's okay to say no. Sometimes we teach no as human beings, like no is bad. No is good. I can't be there for you today. I can't show up for you today. I got to understand who you are. So we appreciate you here, Chris, at the motivators table because you ain't gonna go nowhere where we're gonna make sure that you understand that at this table, you're gonna leave here, and when you leave here, you're gonna run through that brick wall again. And people gonna know that, hey, where did you go get that new motivation gasoline? I went to the motivators table. I'm inspired and I'm ready to go tear some stuff up. Hey, bro,
You bet.
we pray for you. Keep going. And if you need anything, you tap in with me on LinkedIn. Thank you for becoming my LinkedIn friend. Thank you for just, what I'm saying, accepting to come on my platform. And we love you and we appreciate you. And anything you need from us, you just tap in with us, okay?
Thank you so much. And I just want to thank
Yeah.
you for putting all this together and, really helping people and blessing people's lives. JR, you are an inspiration. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you have any last words for the audience?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. Make it different. Consistent effort, just like you said in your motivators creed. Consistent
Yes.
effort.
Be consistent. Hey, motivators,
Yeah.
thank you for tapping in with us this morning on the motivators table. Thank you for just allowing us to pour into you. Um, I am taking a break after March. I'm taking a break from podcasting on my own podcast from April to August to get my mind right, to get my mental right, to take care of more of my speeches physically, making sure I go out there in the community. But my mission was to do 100 episodes. After March, I will have 80 something episodes. So I appreciate you guys for just tuning in, tapping in with me. I want to give you all this information because I tell you what, consistency is a key. You know how you become a millionaire? You know how you become a millionaire and be consistent? Is while you sleeping. People are listening to your podcast. People are buying your books. Go to Amazon, type in my name, Dr. JayR McIntyre. I got 10 books out there. I'm making sure that you understand this is where it's coming from right here. So we love you guys. Thank you again, Los Angeles Tribune. And I can't wait to see you guys on season 6. I appreciate it. Boom.
Thank you.
Welcome to Seven Eagle Academy, your proven skill bridge pathway to a career you'll love. Every day, join hundreds of fellow vets on live Zoom sessions to learn directly from hiring managers, industry experts, and executives looking for top military talent. We'll help you master your resume, networking, and interviews to connect you with careers in tech, healthcare, aviation, sports, and more. This is your tribe, your support system, your advantage. It's free, it's proven, it's life-changing. Your next mission starts now at www.7eagle.com.
God has you in this room for a specific reason and specific time. And the reason why we're doing that is shifting. And we're catching the vision, right? Are we catching the vision? Now I'm about to activate your gift.